Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you for joining me for day 35 of Tibetan Book of the Dead Sadhana. So we're winding down toward the end of this sadhana with day 35. Today's theme will be womb birth, the return to the human world, and that'll be the theme of today's sadhana and short sadhana that we're going to be doing tomorrow. Monday will be some general conclusion passages. Tuesday will be an addendum to this practice, essentially some of the Buddhist philosophy behind this sadhana. And then the following day, I'm going to be sharing with you something from the Hindu side of this spirituality. I'm going to be reading some passages from the Bhagavad Gita, which are typically read at Hindu funerals, and once again, very much reflect this philosophy, especially the idea that when we leave our bodies are like a suit of clothes that have been cast away. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable. Find a comfortable seated position. Something I want to say about our altar display has changed. This is actually the altar I'm going to be using for tomorrow night's Cha practice. We'll be honoring Ma Bhadrakali, the benevolent Kali in her Nepali form. And these are three different statuettes. And I thought this very appropriate for our Tibetan Book of the Dead sadhana as well, because all three of these goddesses are standing or seated in a birthing posture. But close your eyes, breathe deeply. Take a moment for grounding and centering, preparation for the work we're about to do. And call out the name of the person for whom you're doing this sadhana for 3 times silently. And acknowledge that while listening to this and meditating with this, you are acting as a conduit for this information, both for the person for whom you're doing this sadhana for, and for all other souls wandering in the bardo state. Sangye chodang soki chok namla, jangcho bardo dak ni kyap suchi. Dagji jin shuki pe sonam ki, drolapan chia sang ye drupa shok pe. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha, until enlightenment, we take refuge in you. May we, through the merit of generosity and so on, achieve Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Pei. Womb birth, the return to the human world. If, however, such a supernormal birth is not possible, and one desires to enter a womb, or has to enter there is a teaching for the selection of the womb door. Please listen. Looking with your supernormal power of foresight as above, choose that in which religion prevails and enter therein. If birth is to be obtained by way of sperm and ovum in the womb, a sensation that will be sweet smelling will attract one toward that imperfect mass, and birth will be ordained thereby. Whatever wombs or visions may appear, do not regard them as they seem. And by not being attracted nor repelled, a good womb should be chosen. In this too, since it is important to direct the wish, direct it thus. I ought to take birth as a universal emperor, or as a learned person, like a great oak tree, or as the son of an adept in psychic powers, or in a spotless family line, or with a group of people that are filled with religious faith, and in being born so, be endowed with great merit, so as to be able to serve all beings, so as to be able to serve all beings. Pay. Thinking like this, direct your wish and enter into the womb. At the same time, emit your gift waves of grace or goodwill upon the womb which you are entering, transforming it into a celestial mansion. And believing that the great powers are contributing to that moment, pray for these powers to help and enter the womb. In selecting the womb door, there is a possibility of error. Through an influence of past choices, good wombs may appear bad, and bad wombs may appear good. Such an error is possible. At that time, too, the art of teaching is important. Therefore, please do as follows. Even though a womb may appear good, do not be attracted. If it appears bad, have no repulsion towards it. To be free from repulsion and attraction, hatred and greed, or from the wish to take on to avoid, to enter into the mood of complete impartiality. It is the most profound of arts, except for only a few who have had some special practical experience in cyclical development. It is difficult to get rid of the remnants of the disease of unwise tendencies. So be guided by the divine. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Om Ahom. Pay. 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 So I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath, letting go of the meditation again for today. Slowly open your eyes and take some time for quiet meditation before resuming the day's activities. And I look forward to you joining me tomorrow at noon, Denver time, for the next installment, really the final installment of this section. And then likewise at 7 p.m. on Monday, 7 p.m. on Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and then following our sadhana on Tuesday. I invite you to stay on YouTube for our Tuesday satsang. And I'll be sharing with you a meditation based on the Navadurga Stotram, that is the hymn to the 9 Durgas. So until next time, namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so much for joining me. And Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di.